So we go like this. This will mean that everything is way stronger. Now we can go for this guy for 2, only 2 mana. And we can make a copy of this one. I mean, now we can go this one. Alright. Alright, man, this is pretty crazy. We can tap this. Now we can attack, and we don't want to ninjutsu because this is really good play. Even though we could kill the creatures, it's better to steal some creatures. Alright, listen, I'm playing it. Like, this will give us so much extra tempo. And hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and you didn't expect Dimir ninjas today, huh? We got fresh content for days, and with this deck we have new edition of Satoru the Infiltrator, the new card from the last set that is absolutely insane with ninjas. So it's only 2 mana, it has menace, so it's already probably not getting blocked, so that means it opens all the ninjutsu plays, and the full text, basically you can ignore the text. The text says, when you ninjutsu, you draw 1 card, and it isn't limited by once a turn. You can start flipping those ninjas, especially with the master. Everything gets discounted, so very often you can start cycling ninjas for 1 mana and just keep drawing cards with this, man. The card is insane. So you will also see, you know, the classics of Thousand Face Shadow with a really cool art that I use every occasion to use, basically. I love it so much. And Nashi, stealing cards from your opponent. So guys, you want to see some ninjas in action? We will show you, and I hope you will enjoy. This will be a really hard one because I want Face Shadow, Thousand Face Shadow even, into the Thief, and that's super important that we get this. I think we need to roll the dice, man. If I can draw a land, the draw is insanely good. But if we don't draw a land, I mean, it's a meh. It's a meh. But I think we can still fix it in a way. Tiny Bone, well, this will definitely work for them. Like, no joke. Alright, this is good. Obviously, no blockers. And this 1 extra mana is a huge deal. And I have absolutely zero idea what to play with. On the next turn we can go for Nashi, so you know what? I'll try it. We will use this treasure for either Fading Hope or Cut Down, I'm not sure. If they kill this creature, they cannot get it back with the Tiny Bones because it will be too expensive. We ninjutsu it for 2, but it costs 3, so it's way too early for our opponent, even if he used all of the mana for it. If he keeps the Tiny Bones for defense, man, this is perfect. Okay, we know everything. They will probably play around, right? So, we can... I really want to go with Nashi. And I need the 4th mana for it. I might regret it, but I want this play, man. I really want this play. We can also just play it if we want to go with around Tiny Bones. Right, because I guess we will have to kill the Tiny Bones. We can do it later. Thank you. I love you. You are the best person ever. I absolutely do not... Well, is that a cut down maybe? I don't know, man. Alright, that explains it. That explains it. Alright, we will go the hard way. That still costs him a lot of cards, so I'll take it. I will take it. So we can ninjutsu this on anything that will stay, basically. So I want to make sure that we have at least 2 creatures. It will make killing them way harder. We have a cut down that I'm not sure if it will work. I really want to ninjutsu Thousand Face Shadow. Then I draw a card with Satoru and I draw another card with Nashi, basically. If he plays like 3-drop creature, like a preacher, I think we can make it work. Alright, this Tiny Bones. Just being annoying, but we have menace, so it's not... Oh my god, how much removal do you have? Oh, he's so good at magic, man. I tell you, he's so good at magic. That is a big deal, because if we want to... Alright, I think we take this. So we could ninjutsu this, but then they attack with Tiny Bones and start getting our stuff, which we cannot allow. And this will hit their hand, so it means that it's way stronger. Because they only have 2 cards. Absolutely. Let's remove it. And I mean, the choices, man, they were prepared, I tell you. What do you do? With a count for each that died under your control this turn. So let's make sure that nothing dies on the turn when he plays this. Like, no reason to give him a 3-3. And listen, I think we'll be doing it. If we draw a land, we just go with Nashi. If we draw a Ninjutsu card, we just try to win the value game. Case. Case is not a bad draw. But it's not... It's also not the best draw. Do I want to kill this? I can get rid of the shadow, kill this, but honestly I don't think we even care, man. I really don't think we care. And I want the damage. They cannot block with this. Alright, if I draw a land I can ninjutsu something on top of this. So we will just go with this. It's more efficient to play it this way. It will also create insane pressure on him because he doesn't want to get hit by this. And that means he cannot attack with this. Or maybe he can. Show me. No, we are not blocking your skeleton. Especially that it has basically menace. Nothing can block. And this is the downside. It looks so great when you are against control on the play. But in this kind of situation, it's much different. Alright, let's see our card for the day. This is 6, so this is 2 damage lethal basically. We don't want to ninjutsu anything, we just want to play cards. We have 3 mana, so we will just double play probably. Triple play with Nashi. This cannot block, so we can fully ignore it. They can scry. This is so smart. You know what? I'll give him. This is extremely good play because they can force what we will draw. But they need to take... The top card needs to be a land, probably. So I expect a land on top when we use Nashi. But you know what? I'll take the land. It's not bad. And we also draw from our deck. It also means we don't pay any life for the card. They could also go super expensive. That's a weird one. So if they have a bad card, they should leave it on top for us. And the second good card should be left on top for their draw. So I'm not sure what exactly... We'll see. So what is the card? What did you give me, my friend? Here's the swamp. So we can go for Infiltrator. It has menace. Two damage. I mean, we can get good value from this. Yeah, we just go for a lot of creatures. Oh, right, I got the value. I absolutely did it on purpose because I know how it works. Really? Alright, let's go for this guy. Okay, and with cut down, we should be able to win this. Like, I don't think they have even like shorted, we just go around it. Alright, man! Alright, I stand corrected. This is literally the best way they could ever hope. Because that gives them, what? 6 extra damage. That's insane. And this will also not be enough, I believe. Man, this was probably the biggest lethal card they could ever get. They're playing very smart, but this doesn't kill us. And it also doesn't let them defend. They're only attacking with the creatures that cannot block, basically. And they're not good enough. But man, if anything was close to winning the game, that was the draw. And they don't play sweepers, right? So only 2 creatures, we take 6 damage. We do not block anything because we are winning the race. And if we kill the skeleton, they could go for this, of course, on the next turn. We kill one of those and we attack with everything. This has menace, so it's even harder. Alright, we smorked some skeletons, so we are collecting meta decks like a Pokemon. Alright, so it really feels that our opponent is playing some kind of weird, disgusting mono red. But I still will go, well, I need to tap something. We'll go with the Disruptor. We really need some good ninjutsu targets because we have so many creatures. And we still have a little bit too many lands for my taste. I could take the Spell Pierce for Kumano, because you know that every single game in Standard will be against a, some kind of aggro deck. You just don't know which one. I think we go with the Silencer on the next turn. So we go Prowler here. I could Ninjutsu this. Like, gaining 3 life is pretty decent. Yeah, I think we will go with it. That will give us time. No blockers. And yes, I could kill the Veteran. But it's not a great target, to be absolutely honest. I don't like it. I would much rather kill the thing that they will get with the Veteran. Or, you know, like 2-drop or whatever, because it's Boros. Like, I'm thinking instinctively, you know, Ors of Lifelink or Life Gain, but it's obviously just a Boros with 4 Veterans for the mirrors, because you know that basically every game is against some aggro deck, so that's why they really want this Veteran. Alright. Warden is something we can play around. Reading the card. Getting to know Magic slowly but surely. Alright. I mean, I'll give them. That's an interesting play. Was that the best play? I'm not sure, but definitely an interesting one. Listen, I'm going with it. This will be a true pain, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it because we should be able to make it through, so we will get some card advantage. It will cost us a lot of life, but I think we can make it. Here's your honk. Right, Goosey Goose? Of course. Main phase, because they want to... So, usually they will just invest everything in the Warden, because it's such a powerful creature, but we have Fading Hope, and this has to be our answer. We can also go for the Silencer. I wonder if they will attack. Alright. Extremely good draw, but the problem for them is the Disruptor. We can tap this. Now we can attack, and we don't want to Ninjutsu because this is really good play. Even though we could kill the creatures, it's better to steal some creatures. Alright, listen, I'm playing it. Like, this will give us so much extra tempo. And now we have Spell Pierce and Fading Hope. So the next turn is potentially Knight of Chaos, and there's literally nothing we can do about it. So we probably will go with the Silencer. Yeah, I think we'll try to Fading Hope at the end step and see what happens. I hate giving them the value from Knight of... I'm pretty sure this will be Knight of Chaos, right? If I double Fading Hope... No, it's such a bad idea, man. It's such a bad idea. So I think they will tap everything except Warden, play Knight of Chaos. But if they go for the Warden, man, it could be good. Like, we are close to breaking them, but we need some more extra tempo. Alright. So they probably are looking for a land or Knight of Chaos because it doesn't cost mana. One of the two, right? It's first main phase, so they might still have one in the hand, but I would guess they don't. Really? Man, that's some low respect for our cards, but we will make them realize that it was a mistake. Do I want to do it now? It will give us better draw as well, so I think it's worth it. I honestly think it's worth it. Because we will be pretty low on mana. This is a really bad card. We don't want to draw it. It's probably one of the worst ones. Alright, a cut down. A cut down is nice. A cut down is nice. Alright, let's keep drawing cool cards. Alright, so what exactly are we doing? We need to be smart because we are getting a lot of value with this. Top 3 cards, one of them, so we can go up to 4 lands. And this is when we activate. So we definitely go for the Silencer on the Disruptor and probably kill the Veteran, I would guess. This is 2 mana, and we have 1 more. And I probably want a blocker still, just because it holds this in at bay. Okay, this is what we go for. No blockers. No! Alright. I didn't expect second option here. Alright. We're paying a lot of life, but we can also steal a land if we want. I kinda want this. I will try to steal a land because it's very cheap with Nashi. Alright. Alright, we're not getting one. I see. Let's go for the Disruptor. We don't really need it. We can kill the Veteran. So even though they get the backside, it's not a good deal for them because it's so slow. And I can get the Thief, which is really cool, man. Or just go this. Into 1000 Face Shadow. Do we have something that we can double? You know what? I think it's better to keep this mana. Like, this can give us so much value. We don't want to Ninjutsu the Warden because they will get it back, right? It's into owner's hand. Ninjutsu, you control to hand. Well, I assume to owner's hand, right? So, we'll see. Oh, well. You didn't expect this one, huh? That's probably game. They took insane risk and it was probably worth it, but we were prepared. I tell you, man, Spell Pierce always wins games. This is the highest win rate card in Standard. Alright, we are going first. Huh. Well, I will take a risk, man. Maybe we can draw a land. If not, I mean, we'll just go with the... You know what? Let's go like this. I think it makes sense. It's definitely a correct decision. Nothing can hurt us. See? We got there. Man, that's so huge. I took the risk. And I love it. Man, the Thief is probably the best card in this whole deck. And, you know, the Master is also amazing, but this is what allows your, like, super plays, basically. Alright, so next turn we want to... Well, we need more creatures, that's for sure. Even though we don't tap anything, we can always play the Master. Let's get rid of this one. Is that a 1 mana green instant that gives hexproof or something? It definitely feels like it. We need to be super aggro right now. Alright. I'm not sure if the Virtue... Alright, like we have some work to do, my friends. We have some work to do. So we can go for this. It increases damage a little bit. If I play this, I can go for the Thief. That's huge, because Ninjutsu is less expensive. That's huge. That's actually huge. Oh, right, you are a ninja? Oh, rogue. I kinda forgot. It's fine. It's fine. They cannot reblock on this turn. They cannot lose the Analyst. And that means we get to get this one. And that is... Man, this deck does so much damage if you have a decent opening. And here we go. Here we go. They cannot go for the explosion on this turn. Do we go with the Disruptor? We can still go for the Shadow, right? We can also attack with everything and just cycle. Well, I think it's worth it. I honestly think it's worth it. Oh man, sorry bro, because we need to win on the next turn. We cannot make a mistake. Disruptor can tap something, so that's huge. Face Shadow is probably a little bit better though. You know what? We will play like this, because I can negate his blockers. I think he will have 2 creatures, because he will play Nessa or something. Wordsoul's Rage doesn't hit anything. Oh, alright, alright. Not what I expected, but we'll take it. No, man. I think we can do it, because he probably has some ill-timed explosions in the hand. So I expect that our board will die when he hits 4 mana. And this will be the mountain, so don't you worry. Don't you worry. Alright, let's start with this one. We tap this guy. So we tap this guy because I want him to block with this. Then he will lose the Analyst. So this forces him into some bad decisions. Now we attack with everything. And we do some shenanigans. See, they will lose it. Alright. Alright. So we can go for the Master. Right. No, we go for this guy first. Never mind. Alright, I'm thinking. Like, it's not easy, man. It's actually not easy. So we go like this. This will mean that everything is way stronger. Now we can go for this guy for 2. Only 2 mana. And we can get probably this guy. And we can make a copy of this one. And I mean, now we can go this one, going for the 1000 face shadow, because then we get more power. And I think we hit for what? We hit for like 5 and 6, I think for 11, and he was at a 9. So man, that was close, but you can see how tight the games are. Alright, going first. I kinda like this hand. We have Disruptor into some cool place. One trick I learned, you can already pre-spam your own land if you're on the play with the Disruptor. Spell Pierce needs... If you see Jace, it's 100% this amazing Swift Spear that we all like and respect. Alright, I mean, listen, if you want to play like this, I can make my own blue creatures for 1 and 2 mana and just smork ya. I would love to have Spell Pierce, but generally first you both play your creatures and then you amplify them with your big spells. Well, this is as good as it gets, like you want scaling 1-drops, so this is really good for them. We don't have Spell Pierce, so we cannot do anything else. They should go for their Monstrous Rage in the end. Please, please, just get it over with. We all know what you have. Every game is exactly the same. Let's just, you know, do the thing. Do we really go fading like 2 1-drops here? I think we could raise them. Alright, I will go for this play. I might super regret it, but a big point of this. Now every creature we have is a 3/3. That means if they want to kill them, they need 2 mana at least, and they need, you know, Lightning Strike into play with fire to get the auto win. And yes, they will auto win if they have those 2 cards, but generally they don't have them. And on the next turn we will be prepared. So we kinda risk this 1 turn when they're not at full power because we are on the play, obviously being better player. If they were on the play, I think they would win 100%. Alright, and they're trying to defend. So we need to make... Well, I think that should be the win, honestly. By the way, this can be Ninjutsu for 1 mana. And we need to make sure that we answer after he plays the spell. Obviously, if he doesn't attack... Really, bro? Listen. I will take it. Right? I need to be smart because I have only 2 removal spells. If I switch, this is a 5/5, so we deal exactly 11 damage, which is not enough to kill them, so there's no point in doing it. Man, 1 mana, 5/5 is too slow for standard. Just keeps getting better, so they will absolutely go crazy on this turn. So Slick Shot, that's the first play, and they will go absolutely crazy right now. I think I will kill the target for this, and then we'll see. Okay, that's kinda okay. Let's see what the target is. Like, they will deal absolutely insane. By the way, if we don't answer this, they will probably deal like 30 damage with this setup. Alright, we need to be aware with the cut down. What was the card? So they want... Is that the target? Man, I have no idea what they're casting it on. I think it should be, yeah, the Code Breaker, alright. That arrow should be from this card, not from the middle of the stack. So, we can kill it. I don't think they can pump it so much, right? Fading Hope is guaranteed success because it doesn't depend on the stats. Alright. Alright, man, this is pretty crazy. Alright, I will manual tap everything because there's so much stuff. Alright. Also another one. But now we will get exactly the idea how much damage they have. This is 15 damage, 16 damage, so even with Fading Hope we will literally nearly die. Isn't that pretty crazy? And we don't need this tap land for sure. They will get the card, but they can draw either a land or a burn spell. Man, look at this damage. Well, I'm sure we need to print some more Slick Shots, Swift Spears, and 1 mana insane cards into Standard. And you know what? I will take my time. I will take my time. Here you go. For all the pain that Monored did. Man, this deck is insane, but I'm so happy we made it work, man. Like, we beat Monored in the tempo game. Alright guys, so we are already a really bad player, because we are on the draw. However, we will try to play Thousand Face Shadow. Man, this card is such a fire. Not only it gives you the value for the ninjutsu plays, but it also gives you turn 1 play. So, man, this is just perfect. You know, as a card, but unfortunately, you need to make it work. We are going with the Thief for sure. They don't have removal. This cannot create, you know, the type of mana they need. And we're definitely, well, yeah, I think we really need something extra, especially that they will get double triggers from the Full Master. Man, if we can win this on the draw, and it seems to be some of the meta decks, right? What's your big play, my friend? For 3 mana they can play basically their whole deck, so I expect a big thing. A Brutal Qatar. See, that's why we went with this ninjutsu. However, they don't have great target. Alright, probably a good call. Probably a good call. Let's actually think. I cannot ninjutsu because I won't have the correct colors, right? We could play this one. You know what? I think this is the play. I think this is the play. We miss some damage, but it fits the curve so much better. And sure, let's attack. We definitely don't want to flip Qatar. So this is really good for them. Brutal Qatar really cut our power, like, you know, 70% down, because we really wanted this Thief. So they will just play a new one. Man, imagine being so good at Magic. This is probably their best card for the whole matchup, by the way. Alright, this is interesting. So we can play probably double Master right now. This will stack a lot of damage. If I Fading Hope, I need to Fading Hope on their turn, right? Huh. A little bit harsh. We can always ninjutsu something, especially with the discount, and that means they probably don't have the third one. Like, I don't know how mythic you need to be to draw the third one in top 11 cards. Alright, so I will try to pressure them. Man, I'm on the draw and we are pressuring so hard. Vanguard, super good for them. I wanted to play Nashi, but with the extra attacks, man, oh my god, they're insanely good at Magic. It's actually unbelievable how good at Magic. Man, this is their third removal already. And the removal in a creature against creature, especially Ninja, that, well, I wish I had this before. So, I think this is how we need to play. We're going for the Brutal Qatar. We will get the discount. Man, if I had the Spell Pierce last turn, that would change everything. This is good. This is really good draw. Oh right, it goes into the battlefield. Oh, that's so bad. I kinda forgot. For some reason I thought it would go into my hand. I don't know why, don't ask me. So right now they will probably never play Ossification, because that would be Spell Pierce, so they will just never draw it, right? Yep, good for them. Good for them. I think we really need to play with this one. Alright, Skrelv. They might hit for a lot of damage, but that means they are worse at defending. I think we'll still win this, which is kinda unbelievable. We will go for the Thousand Face Shadow. To be fair, we cannot defend this guy, but we can go like this. Oh my god, we can do it twice, right? Because we will get double discount. Oh no. I didn't tap right. That was such a huge blunder. I forgot that it's double rule. Man, we won on the draw against basically a removal tribal, and that's insane. I'm so happy. Oh boy, like the ninjas are so cool, man. This is one of my favorite tribals. I remember playing in paper this 2 mana blue ninja that ninjutsu for 2 to draw a card. Like, I remember those cards in paper. They were so fun. So what about those ones? How competitive they are? I think we will talk through the deck a little bit because that makes more sense, and then we'll give the verdict. So obviously the cool part about this type of build, look how many 1-drops we have. And I'll be honest, I started without the cut downs. I actually had to go for the throws and nothing more, and I just switched into 4 cut downs, and since then deck seems to be performing better. Like, you're so extremely tempo based that paying 2 mana for removal is too slow, because you need to keep pumping the creatures into the board. Like, it's always important with an aggro deck to have creatures on board, but with this you basically cannot do anything if you have empty board. So that's why very often you go Disruptor into Prosperous Thief, because it is basically a 2-drop, into this 1 mana Disruptor, and then if you are on the play you have already 2 creatures to their 2 mana. So basically, even if they have perfect answer, they cannot remove everything, and you just keep going, keep going. One thing to keep in mind, Nashi is probably the only ninja that is more expensive with ninjutsu than to play it normally, but it makes sense because the effect is so powerful. Like, your opponent will try to remove it unless he doesn't know about it, so of course you want to ninjutsu it, especially when your opponent is tapped, because you are guaranteeing the value, but then you need to overpay, and sometimes this 1 treasure will let you get this. And if you can hit you can hit a tally or breach with this. You just pay 7 life and you win the game on the spot. So this is devastating play. I went down with the ninjas because I kinda wanted Nashi, and we are really focused on this 1 and 2 mana plays. The fact that you have basically 8 creatures that have, a 1/1 with flying is so important that you can start the game on a healthy note. I'm not super sure about the Prowler, to be absolutely honest. In my mind it looked pretty good because you can death touch something that got blocked, and probably your opponent thinks that, haha, I got a good trade. So you lifelink, death touch, and this still hits, their face. It has high attack, so it makes sense, especially with ninjutsu. It's super cheap if you have the discount from the silver Fur Master. However, in reality it usually doesn't do such a difference, so maybe it should be one of the others. Silencer is a great tempo card, however you are losing a lot of value, so probably before you use it you want something like Infiltrator in the board. You don't really go for 3 mana Satoru for this 4 mana ninjutsu, but you mostly go for this effect when you can start drawing cards, especially that there's selection. So if your opponent whiffs for a moment and you can just play this or the ninjutsu, like, you can get so much value, and in like 2 turns you can actually go, outvalue them, especially with cards like Cut Down, Spell Pierce, and Fading Hope. Whatever they play, you probably have interaction. Also, the Spell Pierce means that against the Sunfall decks and all the control, you can have a winning play very easily. Probably the most important part of the whole deck is, like, after playing Thief, playing the Thousand Face Shadow with the discount from Master, and when you start, copying masters, this is where the deck gets scary. You have seen that we went from 6 damage a turn into 9 damage a turn, and this comes surprisingly fast. And the fact that you get the discount means that Thousand Face Shadow can be cast for 2, and basically make unlimited copies, because you can ninjutsu this one later and do it again and do it again. So basically only mana restrains you. You always need to have something hitting your opponent, because otherwise you cannot activate ninjutsu, of course. So that's why the Cut Down and Fading Hope are insanely important. So you are not going for the value usual, you just try to kill your opponent before he realizes what is happening, and with Satoru you get this extra burst of power usually. And Menace helps this to, just finish the game, especially with this. Sometimes your opponent has some blockers, but he doesn't have enough with all the Menace that you have, and this kind of stuff. Don't forget, this one has Menace as well. So with all this cool story, is this, like, the most competitive ninja deck in standard? I mean, it could be, it very well could be, but it still doesn't mean it's good. Unfortunately, ninjas are not in a place where they can compete against Monored and all this stuff. You can win some games, but generally it's not on the same power. You need good draw to beat an average draw of Monored. You can do it, but if they get insane opening, you just scoop. If you get bad opening, for example, you miss 1 and 2 drops, sometimes it happens, you are probably too slow to kill any kind of control deck. So you need good curve, and then deck feels unbeatable. If you get bad curve, the deck feels weak, and it's on the weak side. Unfortunately, I really love ninjas. Man, I would honestly love this to be a meta deck. Especially that with ninjutsu, you can make so many cool plays. Like someone targets your creature, then you ninjutsu it back, and suddenly the spell fizzles. Then you ninjutsu it back. You know, like there's so many cool things you can do with this deck. Unfortunately, we are destined to see mono red 1, 2, 3. You know, Kumano, Swift Spear, Slick Shot, those kind of things are running rampart. At least we can answer them. You can see that with Fading Hope and, Cut Down, we can absolutely mess their plays, but it's hard to dish enough damage to raise them, and being on the draw is very harsh on this deck. This is probably the most draw-dependent deck I have seen so far. If you are on the draw, you probably lost most of your win rate. If you are on the play with good curve, it feels great. So, this is my honest review. I would prefer this to be different, but it is what it is. I hope you appreciate the review, and I mean, it's honestly the best version of the deck I was playing so far, and it felt pretty good, but it's still not strong enough. So, that's kinda it for today. Thank you for watching, I hope you had a great fun, and see you guys tomorrow.